Coming up tonight on The Final Score, East Carolina continued its Jekyll and Hyde home and away play this season, and today Houston took advantage. The Pirate women played the role of David, and Goliath was not going down at the American Athletic Conference tournament on this day. Duke swept the Battle of the Blues this weekend.
It's just so close all the time.
Now the ACC welcomes everyone to Greensboro. East Carolina broke out the brooms for the second straight weekend. We'll head to the Diamond for Pirate baseball.
What these kids have accomplished will be etched in North Carolina basketball history.
And we'll take you back to Fayetteville for extensive coverage of the Eastern Regionals in high school basketball. We are your Sunday source for sports. This is The Final Score. Okay, good evening, everyone, and welcome to The Final Score. We've got a jam-packed show tonight, and we start with Pirate basketball, both the men and the women in action on this Sunday.
All right, let's get things going with Jeff Lebo and the Pirates in the regular season finale. ECU in the Lone Star State taking on the Houston Cougars, and Coach Lebo and the Pirates have just one road win to their name this season. Not good. And not the start ECU was hoping for. Devontae Pollard inside, up and in for Houston. Three-point play for the Cougs right out of the gates. And after that, the Pirates D would settle down. Terry Wisnett, he gets the steal in the backcourt, and he'll get the reverse layup to go. Wisnett led the Pirates with 13 today, and more scrappy D for ECU. Antonio Robinson swiped his 50th steal of the season, takes it in for the easy lay-in. East Carolina trailed, though, 35-24 at the break. And this play right here reflects the Pirates' day. Michelle Nzigi inside, can't get the easy bucket to go, and Houston capitalizes with one of 12 threes on the day. Gerard Stiggers led Houston with 17 points. Pirates fall 72-54, shooting just 37% from the field.
All right, here's the way it sets up for the American Athletic Conference tournament. East Carolina goes in as the 8th seed. Pirates will take on 9th seed UCF in a first-round game, 3:30 on Thursday. Pirates swept the Knights in the regular season, so if East Carolina makes it 3 wins over UCF, then the Pirates will take on top seed SMU on Friday coming up at noon. Coach Jeff Lebo looking forward to a new adventure playing in the American tournament.
It is new, and obviously playing in Connecticut will be difficult, but we're excited about it. You get a new kind of breath of fresh air, and you got a new season. Anything can happen. You see it happen all the time in these tournaments. Hopefully we'll be gone for a long time. We're going to go straight from there, straight from Houston right up to Hartford. So that's a tough trip when you're on the road that long. So that's when you want to be playing your best basketball. End of February, into March, and be healthy and be loose and be confident. And I think that's kind of what we are right now.
All right, the Pirate women in the semifinals of the American Conference tournament after beating Temple from yesterday, and the Pirates would take on top-ranked UConn. East Carolina's first meeting with the #1 ranked team since 2002. UConn started on a 6-0 run. Morgan Tuck drives and finishes high off the glass early on. UConn took it right to East Carolina. Remember, Connecticut beat East Carolina a couple of times badly during the season. Pirates finally get on the board off the Jada Payne miss. Adriana Taylor gets the putback, and the Pirates within 4 in the game. But the Huskies go on an absolute tear at an 18-0 run. Sonia Chong to Gabby Williams for the bucket. UConn up 43-9 in the first half. Pirates gave up 62 first-half points. They fall 106-56. East Carolina now awaits a postseason tournament invitation, most likely coming from the WNIT. Tough way to end it for East Carolina. Heather Macy and company, though, with a 3rd straight 20-win season. Perhaps a WNIT bid could be on the way.
Yeah, impressive. And wouldn't it be nice to see the ladies get a chance to host a game in the women's NIT? We'll have to wait and see. About a week until those are released. All
right, what a weekend it was on the hardwood. Stay with us. We have plenty more to come tonight, including more basketball.
4 area teams advancing to the state championships. We'll show you how they got there and hear from them later on. But first, to another classic between Duke and North Carolina. It always lives up to the hype, highlights, and reaction from the Battle of the Blues. Next, right here on The Final Score. All right, thanks for staying up late with us on this Sunday night. Welcome back to The Final Score. And what a weekend on the hardwood, including another classic Battle of the Blues.
Duke and North Carolina, always fierce, always fun. Last meeting, of course, took overtime. This time around, just as compelling. We go to the Dean Dome, Smith Center, another Tobacco Road Classic for this one. I really thought Carolina would play better in this one. You know, the rivalry a big deal when the home team honors the opposing coach. This sportsmanship game between Duke and North Carolina, I'm not quite so sure. Coach K hauling in some hardware from the Tar Heels. Heel strike first, Bryce Johnson comes up with the big dunk, and he is fired up. Heels
Check out his
fired
face.
up at home, yeah. Duke responds, deadly from deep, Tyus Jones. And Duke has the early advantage. More Blue Devils showing off their range. It'll be the senior, Quinn Cook, from the outside. Cook knocks down the triple in Chapel Hill. But Carolina hung tough in the first half. Nate Britt brings North Carolina within one with this shot. Tar Heels actually led it at the half, but Duke pulled away in the second half, and Duke sweeps the season series.
It's just so close all the time. And that's why it's such a great rivalry. And we're fortunate, you know, for these two games that it turned out for us. Very fortunate.
10 years as an assistant coach, we always won on senior day. First 24 years as a head coach, we won on every senior day. And now we've lost 2 of the last 3. And so whatever I was doing earlier, I need to get back to doing a better job.
An emotional Roy Williams there. Syracuse visiting NC State yesterday. How about Jim Boeheim? His legacy been called into question with this week's NCAA investigation findings. Syracuse led early on the road. That was Trevor Cooney with the 3. But the Pack would crank it into high gear. Trevor Lacey drills a 3 of his own. Boeheim can only watch as Syracuse collapsing down the stretch off and on the court. And the icing on the cake. Cool moment here. Senior bench warmer got a late shine. Stats battle with the 3, bench going crazy. NC State wins it 71-57.
All right, it's always hard to win a game, and it really doesn't matter. Virginia, the top seed in the upcoming ACC tournament. They've already clinched the championship. Over North Edgecombe star Montrezl Harrell with a big slam. Louisville led by 2 against Virginia. A couple of minutes left. Terry Rozier drives in, hits the jumper. Cards up by 4. Less than 20 seconds left in the game. Some nice passing here around the arc, and Malcolm Brogdon knocks down the 3. 4-3 of the game, he had 16 points. Virginia up by a point. Louisville on the inbounds here. And check out the pass and the shot by Mango Mathiang. He was 1 of 16 in February, and he gets nothing but net to win it for the Cards. Virginia had one final shot with 2.7 seconds left, but the pass goes out of bounds, and Virginia falls. Louisville clinches the 4th seed in the upcoming ACC tournament. Harrell had 20 points and 12 rebounds. Virginia, though, your top seed, and still a #1 seed in the upcoming tournament, I think. So now we head to Greensboro for the ACC tournament. Starts on Tuesday. The top 4 seeds, of course, have double byes. Those teams are Virginia, Duke, Notre Dame, and Louisville. Seeds 11 through 14 open the event on Tuesday. Those winners advance to play coming up on Wednesday.
And that's when both North Carolina and NC State open play. The Heels play the winner of Boston College, Georgia Tech, while State gets Pittsburgh. The tournament has changed its format with more teams. Semifinals set for Friday night and the championship game to be held Saturday. And on this jam-packed weekend of basketball, there was also some baseball.
That's right. The Pirates hosting a 3-game series against Monmouth. Still to come tonight. On the final score, we'll get the brooms out and take you out to Clark LeClaire Stadium. But first, we stick with basketball. Kinston boys and girls, East Carteret, Riverside, all heading to the state championship. We'll show you how they got there. Coming up next.
And welcome back to the final score. After a grueling regular season and a weather-worn postseason, Eastern North Carolina will have 4 representatives in next week's state championship.
All right, let's get to know our contenders and take a look at how they got there this past weekend. First up in the 2A boys class, we got to show you Brandon Ingram and the Kinston Vikings. Man, all this team does is win. It's a song that says the same thing, isn't it? Kinston taking on Fairmont early on. All Kinston. Ingram goes coast to coast for the layup. Then Ingram again handling the basketball, and he's going to go all the way for the big slam dunk with 2 hands. How about some defense from the big man? Ingram with the big block. Get that out of here. Then some vision. Ingram finds Cale Hart cutting backdoor for the easy lay-in. Hart would finish with 12 points. All regional team honors. Then it's Ingram zipping it to Jaquan Artis in transition. Artis would finish with 14. How about some range? Ingram with 20. All team, all MVP honors for Brandon Ingram. Kinston, the champs again, 86-59.
What these kids have accomplished will be etched in North Carolina basketball history. And when we look back on it, I think it'll have more meaning for everybody. And right now, I don't think they quite understand it, but I do, because I know what they've done, and they've carried us on a ride that's been unbelievable.
We just play our game. We listen to our coaches. We don't let nobody else dictate ourselves.
All right, to the 2A girls finals. The ladies of Kinston taking on undefeated North Pitt. Panthers starting us off. We're going to see Tyquisha Gaynor with the lay-in here, but Kinston not phased. They'd already knocked off an undefeated team in the tournament. Alexis Mills with the 3. Vikings ended the first half on a 16-0 run. North Pitt, though, with some fight in the second. That's Shayla Boone with the hoop and the harm. But too much Jada Faison with the floater. She finished with 20. Kinston rolls 63-52. We'll keep an eye on Faison. She suffered a tough wrist injury. You see her holding it there. Afterwards, Coach Christopher Bradshaw talked about Faison's importance to a Viking state title bid.
Jada is the fire to our engine. When she gets going, our teams get going. With her and Malaysia Lancaster at guard, I think we got the best 2 guards in the state of North Carolina, hands down. Great group of girls. We always put our hat on defense, and that's what we did.
We had never been in this predicament before. Being down by 10 at halftime, out of 27 games, we had never been like that before. We had a great run. We will be back next year.
All right, to the 1A now, boys Eastern Championship game. East Carteret at Northside Pinetown. Edris Adebayo, bam, bam. The dunk to start things off. He is a man-child, but it's all Mariners from there. Jack Brown to Trevor Willis for 3. He hits. This East Carteret team is loaded. More Mariners doing it on both ends. Sam Johnson with the steal. He goes in for the layup. And then Johnson to Brown for the triple. Brown finishes with 29. He would be named the tournament MVP. East Carteret wins at 75-60. It'll be a rematch in the 1A state final. The Mariners and Winston-Salem Prep.
We've been, I guess it was 358 days. We've been waiting to get back, and we're glad that we're going back for sure. And it's something we've been looking forward to for a long time. That's who we want to play.
I just wanted to win. I was off a little bit tonight, but just wanted to win. It's a little something in our water that makes us play like that. So.
Something in the water. Now revenge on the mind for East Carteret. On to 1A girls, Riverside and Rosewood. The Knights of Riverside, they're headed back to the state title game. They may also be thinking about a little bit of revenge. This one was never in question. You saw Taquana Bland inside and then outside. Bland finished with 18. She wasn't alone. Remy Simmons with the lay-in. I think Kayla Jones had a 21 herself. Riverside, deep and experienced. They win it 67-47. They'll get Winston-Salem Prep in the state title game.
Obviously, it's great to be back in a state championship game. After last year, it gives a good chance to, put on a little bit of show, and hopefully we can practice our half-court defense against half-court shots. So we'll try to work on that this week a little bit, but we'll get ready to go.
We'll all get ready to go. 4 area teams will play for state titles this Saturday in Chapel Hill. The 2As are at the Dean Dome. The 1As are at Carmichael Arena. 2A girls tip it off. Kinston at 19-10, taking on Wilkes Central at 25-4 at high noon. Then the 2A boys hit the floor at 2:30. Kinston 25-4, taking on unbeaten East Lincoln. Vikings going for a 4th straight state championship.
And at Carmichael, it's Riverside at 23-5 against Winston-Salem Prep at 23-3 in the 1A women's state title contest. That's that first game. Then 27-2, East Carteret takes on Winston-Salem Prep at 20-7 on the year in the second game.
All right, time to take another break. We're almost through with this jam-packed week of sports. Coming up next, we'll finally get off the hardwood and head to the Diamond. East
Carolina hosting Monmouth for a 3-game series. We'll head over to Clark LeClaire when the final score returns right after this.
All right, welcome back to the final score as we wrap up this busy sports weekend.
And Pirate baseball was back in action on this Sunday, going for the series sweep over Monmouth. Let's take you through the series. East Carolina hosting Monmouth, and Monmouth's manager, this is cool, Dean Ilholt. He's a former Pirate himself. He graduated in '87. There he is.
I was here when he was here, yeah, 87.
Oh, wow, dating yourself. Evan Krasinski on the bump for the Pirates. He was outstanding. He gets Dan Shea looking to end the first inning, and still scoreless in the 5th. Another one, Grant Lamberton swinging. Finally, in the 8th, Pirates get on the board up 1-0. Garrett Brooks, the grounder. Monmouth gets one of the 2 outs. Brooks safe at first. Bryce Harmon scores 2-0 Pirates. In the bottom of the 9th, Krasinski finishes off a complete game shutout. Gets Shea to ground out to first. Krasinski went all 9 innings, gave up just 2 hits, 7 strikeouts. The Pirates win 2-0, and they were eyeing a sweep.
And they would get that doubleheader sweep, and they would set up Game 3. They won Game 2 pretty easily. Game 3, another close one. Pick it up in the third. Everybody out in the sunshine today. In the third, Luke Bolka, his first hit of the year, filling in for the injured Luke Lowry. Later in the inning, the Pirates get on the board. It's Parker Lamb with the sac fly. Gave it a ride. Bolka is going to give the Pirates a 1-0 lead. Now get this, coming into the game, Monmouth hadn't scored a run in 41 straight innings. I think it got to 45, right?
44.
44, got to 44. They finally played a run right there. Hawks led the Pirates 2-1 through 6 innings. But in the 7th now, man on third, Bryce Harmon flies out the center. Is it deep enough? Yes, it is. Reed Love races home, and that tied the game at 2-2. Later in the 7th, Travis Watkins slaps one right up the gut. Parker Lamb comes around for the go-ahead run. Pirates up 3-2. And Reed Love was brilliant on the mound in relief.
Perfect.
4 perfect innings to close out the game and the series. Pirates win it 3-2 the final and move to 9-5 on the year with the victory.
Anytime you can sweep in college baseball is huge, and I told our guys before the game it wasn't going to be easy, and it wasn't. You know, we had to battle from behind, and Reed Love just did a tremendous job. We got to start in the 7th, and they came in and shut the door.
I felt like I was in a groove. I felt like just getting ahead in a count, that's what really helped me. I really just needed to relax and not take every pitch so seriously, just relax and play baseball and just let it come to me.
Reed had everything working. His changeup was really good. His curveball was good to the lefties. His fastballs, he was spotting up both sides of the plate. I mean, that's fun to catch back there when we got guys out there just pounding the zone.
It's good to be in those tight run games because it's going to be one-run games once we start conference play a lot, and for them to be able to win that game and to walk off and feel confident. I mean, we executed really well. I mean, you saw the bunts that we got down and then drove the guys in. Bryce with a sac fly, and then Travis with a 2-out RBI. So that's what it's going to take as we move forward.
And we had a really good pitching staff this week, and they all came out here and did their job, threw strikes, pounded the zone, trusted the defense. We swung it a little bit, so it felt really good to get some wins.
And we got 5 games this week, 5 tough opponents, and starting with Campbell, who was 11-2 yesterday, so they're going to be a tough test for us.
All right, here we go. As Coach said, tough week coming up at home against Campbell and UNC Greensboro. Both of those games Tuesday and Wednesday are 6:30 start times, and the Pirates hit the road for a 3-game series at Elon. Friday's game at 4 o'clock, Saturday at 2, and Sunday at 1:30. So 5 big games for the Pirates coming up this week.
Baseball heating up. Let's hope the temperature stays like it has been. Thanks for staying up late with us on the Final Score. Coming up next, we'll switch gears, literally, for some NASCAR.
4, the winning number in Vegas. A winning day for Kevin Harvick. We'll head to Las Vegas on the Final Score. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas after this. All right, welcome back to the Final Score on this Sunday night. NASCAR paid a visit to Sin City on this 3rd Sunday of the racing season. Las Vegas we go. The Cobalt 400, lap 138. And Brad Keselowski, the Blue Deuce, penalized after a tire gets loose in his pit. That is never a good sign when that tire is rolling across the track, and the gas man almost got in trouble with that one. 74 laps to go. Carl Edwards gets banged around a little bit, and then he's going to lose control, causing some problems. A couple of cars loser with that one. Could have been much, much worse. 2 laps after the restart, lap 253, the 4-car of Kevin Harvick blows right past Dale Earnhardt Jr., and Harvick has the lead. Final lap, Harvick in cruise control, no problem at all. It's career win number 29 for Harvick. Martin Truex Jr. was 2nd. Ryan Newman finished 3rd. Harvick won it, but he wasn't all that sure he would see checkers at one point today.
I don't know, but it wasn't right. Luckily, we were able to hang on to it and had a good enough lead to where we could pace ourselves and be able to keep the lead, I guess. So just want to thank all the fans. What a great crowd today in Sprint for everything they do for our series.
All right, Pro Hoops today now. The Charlotte Hornets playoff push made a stop in the Motor City Hornets and the Pistons from Detroit. In this one, Charlotte playing some pretty good basketball at a good time. 2nd quarter, though, the Pistons' Reggie Jackson takes it in the lane and slams on Big Al. Big Al Jefferson. 3rd quarter, Big Al gets his payback. He gets the lay-in over Jackson for the basket. 4th quarter, Hornets up by a point. Lance Stevenson, watch this fake. He just fakes him out of his shorts, doesn't he? And check out the bench. The bench went absolutely crazy, laughing at Stevenson and the big fake. 4th quarter, 102-94. Mo Williams, he's been a great addition for the Hornets. He gets the basket there. He had 21. Big Al had 24. Charlotte won at 108-101, and the Hornets have now won 5 games in a row. Okay, we'll be right back with our play of the week, our final play on the Final Score. That's coming up after this. All right, welcome back to the final score. We close it out with our final play.
And for that, we head to the ice for the Carolina Hurricanes.
The Carolina Hurricanes. Canes trail 3-0. And watch the play here by Alexander Simmons. On his back, somehow he flips the puck in. You got to see that in slow motion to really appreciate it. Amazing shot, amazing comeback for the Canes. Carolina came from 3 goals down, beat Edmonton today by the final of 7-4.
He knew what he was doing.
Just a great
He
shot.
did all that on purpose.
I think he did. I know he knew what he was doing. That's just hard to do when you lay it on your back like that on the ice.
At first look, it looks lucky, but that was skill. That's impressive by Simmons.
Great play. Big win for the Carolina Hurricanes. We got to thank our fine producer for the final score. Steve McNulty did a great job down in Fayetteville with the Eastern Regionals. Did an outstanding job.
You can see him this weekend in Chapel Hill.
That's right. He'll be there for that, too. That's our show. Good night, everybody.